Cheers. Empty cup. Welcome back, guys, to Open and Honest.
I got little floaties in my water, but it's only, yeah, it's lemon. I was trying to be fancy and I scraped lemon into
I do that in my water bottle because that's like the only way that I'll drink a lot of water if it has.
Yeah. Well, I've had like 2 of these today, so like I feel like that's good. But I want to start making like flavored water since I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
I know. I put chlorophyll in my water today. I always put liquid chlorophyll, but I put way too much, so it's super strong. And so I keep just having to put more water every time I drink some.
Wait, what is chlorophyll and like what does it do for you?
Chlorophyll. So you can take like liquid chlorophyll in your water and you can get it, I'm sure even at Walmart now, but I get it at pharmacies in TJ, and it helps with blood detoxification. So like with your blood flow, odor control. So if like you like your sweat or just like body odor smells, it's supposed to help with that. With wound healing, so with inflammation, and it's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, so it helps like your gut, also cleanse out with like joint pain, your immune system, and then it's supposed to help with cancer prevention because it does something to your red blood cells, so it starts like rebuilding them. So it's good, and then because of that, it's supposed to be good for asthmatics over time. It's supposed to help like the blood flow in your airways a little bit. I used to drink it a lot every day, and I could breathe a lot better. And so I'm gonna try to start doing it again, just because I go and I have like little waves, when like I drink it a lot for like a week and then I finish it.
Yeah.
Do it again. So
yeah. I like want to get more into like, I don't even know what you would call that, but like stuff that you like little pills that you take or like stuff you put in your water. I know this sounds like sketchy, but it's because I don't know the name of what I'm trying to say.
It's not like holistic, but it's just like natural remedies. It's like stuff like even like his family's super into like essential oils, and I used to be, but I didn't keep up with it. But they're super into it, and there's so many benefits, like joint pain. Like I would use like a little roller ball that I don't even know what kind of oils are in it, but like on my knee when my knee was really bad, and I would wake up so much better, like without pain. And then like in my water too, I'll do like a lemon and then drops of lime essential oil, and so that's like a ton of vitamin C. And right now that's what you're supposed to be drinking, is a lot of vitamin C, because of like to help your immune system. And then same if you, so there's like a remedy that it's not even like being brought to light, but if you start to feel sick right now, there's this Dominican woman, and she lives in Germany, I think, and she's like friends with one of my mom's friends, and sent this video of like what she did to cure herself of the coronavirus, and it worked. And she's like just this little Dominican lady, and then she did it for like her family, and they all got better. Because so her husband he was asymptomatic for a few weeks until he was like diagnosed with like the corona, and then by then he had horrible symptoms and was hospitalized. And so obviously she had been living with him. She's like, I was starting to feel sick, and there's no way that I didn't have it already, but I wasn't gonna let it progress or advance, because they're from the Dominican Republic, living in Germany with like a little baby. She's like, there was nobody to take care of her if both of us are in the hospital. So what you do is mix bicarbonato de sodio, like sodium bicarbonate, it's like liquid, and then vitamin C and vinegar. And she was doing this every day. So every day, every 20 minutes, every like 20 to 30 minutes, doing gargaras, like gargling it. And she was good. And her family, like her brother is diabetic and had something else, and he was starting to feel sick, and he did it and like completely went away. Everybody who's been doing it, who's like caught on, who's starting to feel sick, has been feeling a lot better. Like, yes, I'm not saying that I had it, but yesterday I woke up and my throat was like super scratching. So obviously it's like, fuck, like panic. And so we did it, and like I woke up perfectly fine. But yeah.
But yeah, like I want to like learn more about that, because like, have you heard of sea moss or something?
No.
It's some moss. I think it's sea moss. I don't know if this is right, but like I see a lot of people on Instagram on it, and like you boil it or something, and then you eat it. But it's supposed to be good for like your immune system and like help you like if you think you're getting sick, and like there's just so many like little remedies and stuff for like different things in your body. So I definitely want to like make more of an effort to learn about that stuff.
A lot that you could do. I know.
What?
I said there's a lot that you can take and do. Like even like in that cupboard we have like super greens. So like put a scoop into like a smoothie or something. Like when we don't eat a lot of like vegetables, and that's just like a simple supplement. I just ran out, but like maca. Maca has a ton of benefits too. Like kombucha helps your digestive and like your gut health. So there's a ton of like little things you can incorporate or swap out. And like we talked about yesterday, how you were saying that you were starting to use like almond flour tortillas. So like such little swaps that you don't really notice, and you might be paying a little bit more for it. But at the end of the day, like stuff that you know that you're always going to be consuming, if you can make it a little bit healthier, why not? And you're going to see tons of benefits, like your energy levels and your body, just how you feel. So there's a lot that you can do.
That's true. So we'll see what happens while I'm in quarantine. Try to get some new stuff into my routine.
Body.
So do you want to talk about what we're going to be talking about today?
So Renee asked me this the other day, what I thought her type was. And I was like, what do you mean your type? Your blood type? I'm just kidding. Your type O? I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't know mine. And I answered something super basic, even though like I know that I know what it is, or I mean I can like describe something pretty well just because of, I mean, we've known each other forever. Like I can gather an idea, but I just didn't know what it was for. So I was like, oh, tall, dark, and handsome, like like a total cliche. But we thought it'd be interesting just to see what we thought each other's were, because personally, I don't think I have one.
I think you do. I'm gonna have to disagree there. But
yeah, let's see. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
You start.
Okay, well, so I said tall, dark, and handsome. And when we talk about this, by no means are we throwing shade at each other. It's just what it is, okay?
Now I'm nervous.
No, well, because how you said the other day, like, no, I know I'm toxic, or like, yeah, it's like, I'm not trying to say you're a toxic person, by no means. So, all right, I think I agree with like what you had sent me. Mm-hmm. I think you do look for, it's not that you go out and search for people like this. It's just when it's there, you're like attracted to it. Yeah. When somebody like is available, but not too available, like they want to commit to just like texting and messing around, and like that's the level of commitment that it is, until, especially right now in like this time in your life, that's like what you want, kind of. But definitely, like, I think you like to be like the hugger and the cuddly one, but when it's reciprocated, it's like, okay, too much. Like, it stands still. So it has to be kind of like mutual. And then I just feel like a little bit complicated. Like you definitely like to fix people and you like to be chased even when you're over it. Like even if like the relationship, the situation is over, you still want to be chased. Like you like to be chased and you like the chase.
Yeah.
So it's just like not a I don't think that's a good combination because you're just like chasing each other and
it's a race.
and then there's no finish line.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with like those three things so far. But I would say also, I think the period of time that I'm in my life, like, has made me to the point of like, once you want to be too committed, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, because I mean, I like only knew relationships for all of my teen,
until like a year ago.
Yeah, so like that's all I knew. Like I was in an almost 5-year relationship, I was in a 1-year relationship, and like even between those two, like it was less than a year that I was single. So this is the first time I've been single. So I feel like I've just like made it a point to where like I don't want to be in a relationship. And so once you start talking about being in a relationship, like I'm out. Like, and I don't know, like I've been super honest about that too though, like from the beginning, like I don't want to be in a relationship, like have to constantly remind people like I don't want to be in a relationship, even though you might think that like this is something that people do in a relationship. I don't want to be in one.
But I think that's why I say that you don't like to be chased, that you like to be chased, because even if you say like I'm not trying to be in a relationship, you know that, I know that, you still like keep going to the point where it seems like you're in a relationship and you just still like them to think that you're kind of like in it, even though at the same time you're like, we're nothing, we're not in a relationship, we're nothing, but like still act like it. So it's like,
yeah. So I mean, I think it's like I'm gonna be completely honest. I think it's toxic in the sense that like I know I don't want to be in a relationship, but I put myself in situations where like I'm low key like in a relationship, I guess, but like I still have the freedom to do what I want. And so I think that like that's the differentiating factor for me. It's like if I go out with you on a Friday, you said what?
It's just like the security of having someone, but with not like just them.
I mean, kind of, you know, but like not even that I'm actively looking for that. Just like if I go out with you on a Friday and we have a good night and whatever, but then I go out with my girls on a Saturday and I meet somebody in the club, like I want to be single enough to the point where like I can get to know other people. So like I want to be able to keep my options open because like I've never done that. And I feel like I had this conversation with you before of just like wanting to like the next person that I'm with, like knowing that like I chose this person, like I didn't settle for anything, like it wasn't just like, oh, like, you know, we both like each other, like let's see, you know, if this is gonna work. It's like, no, like we spent time getting to know each other, like I figured out what was out there, I figured out what I wanted, I figured out who I was, like, and then we decided like we should be in a relationship together. You know, I feel like in the past, like I have been in situations where like I've settled for certain things or I put up with things that like I would never put up with for the sake of like being comfortable with that person or just wanting to be in a relationship, like just things that like I would have, you know, before been like, oh, it could never be me, you know, but like it was me because like I just wanted to be with somebody. So I'm like in a position now where like, yeah, I'm still gonna like get to know people, like I'm human, like I want like, you know, human interaction, like I'm still like obviously attracted to guys, like when I go out and like go to the club and stuff, you know, I'm human, but the differentiating factor now is like I don't feel pressure to like have to date somebody. And like I've been put in a situation before where it's like, well, if you don't want to date me now, then we don't need to talk. You know? Yeah. And I don't think that's like a fair ultimatum to give somebody, like for me to be ready to date you on your terms.
Yeah, no, you just have to get to know each other. And then like if it falls into place, if it's mutual, then be in a relationship. But by no way should you feel pressured to be in one by somebody, because that never led to anything good. Like I want to be in a relationship with you, but even though you don't want to be in one with me, like that's not good for either one of you. Like it's not going to be true.
Yeah, so I feel like just that situation has also pushed me to like stand true to like what I want, you know? And like I know like it, you know, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people or whatever. Everybody
doesn't need to.
Yeah, I know everybody has their opinions, but at the end of the day, like, this is exactly like where I want to be. Like, I might be talking to one person on a Monday and then 5 people on a Friday and then, nobody on Sunday. So, but like, I'm getting to know like people and seeing where things go. And, I hope that the next person I'm in a relationship is like the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, because like, I'm over dating to break up. Like, I want to date to marry. And so that's why I say like the next person I'm with, like, I chose you. So it might be 4 years from now when I get in another relationship, who knows, but like, I know that like the next person is like when I was ready and it was on my timeline.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's like how it should be. I think, especially it was like opposite for most of the time that you had a boyfriend, I was single. So like it was like flipped for us. Like I did have that, like those years of just doing whatever the hell I wanted, traveling back and forth and just figuring it out. And like you
Yeah.
didn't have
And I feel like that's like the part of it that people forget, like that, like all that was like all those times that everybody was just out doing what they wanted to do. Like, I was in a relationship, so like even like during homecoming and prom and all these like events, it wasn't like I was out like at the party like just wilding out. Like, I was there with my boyfriend.
that.
So it was a different experience for me, like growing up and being in high school and even being in like my first years of college, because like I was in a relationship, so my experience was shaped by that. And so now I'm single and like I'm able to like go and travel, with different groups of people and like do my own thing and it not be an issue because I'm not in a relationship. You know what I mean? So it's like, but everybody had their period of like that experience, but now it's like when I do it, it's like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
no, that's why I don't like say anything really, because I know that it was flipped.
yeah,
That like I was hoeing around or that you're hoeing around right now is just, it was a completely flipped situation for both of us.
yeah. But then also like there's gonna come to a point where I'm just like over like this, like this lifestyle, but we're not there yet. So to be continued, honey, to be continued.
No, yeah, I mean it makes sense and you're entitled to that, to your freedom. Be single for however long you want. There's nobody that can take that from you or tell you that you have to be in a relationship or not. Like
Yeah.
it's all personal preference.
Yeah, I just think about it like I don't want to have any regrets like when I, you know, um like am married. Like for some people they can be in one relationship and like that's good and like it works. But like for me, like I don't want to feel like I like regretted anything.
Out on anything.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is my way and I'm okay with it. So I'm like, I'm keep doing it. I'm keep doing me. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see like what happens within the next couple of years. But for now, like it is what it is. Do you have any other comments on my type?
I don't think physically
Oh.
you really have a type because you've been into obviously um like African American, you've been into like American Caucasian, you've been into, I don't want to say anything like politically incorrect or like racist.
I know, I can tell you're like taking your time. It's good though.
You've liked, I mean not dated, but like been into Hispanic.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say like I feel like I don't have like I have a type as far as like the type of guy like I want to be with and I'm genuinely like I don't know like attracted to, but I feel like I'm attracted to like all races. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I've liked every race, Asians, Mexican, like everything. But I have like a type, I feel. Like when I'm just like, oh my God, yeah. I feel like everyone has like a type like that, but I don't know.
What do you think it is for you?
Like for me, I would say like Black guys, Dominican guys, um, tall, athletic, like educated, has money, I would say like but like, yeah, I don't know, like Dominican guys for some reason. Oh Lord.
You said that.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know.
Basically, taking applications. If you guys have any Dominican friends, family,
Me.
acquaintances.
I would say yeah, that's like my type. But
okay, what do you think? What do you think mine is?
Well, okay, so when I said like I feel like you have a type, I feel like it's like for me, I think about it like more physically, like the type of guys like you go for like or like have gone for in the past or like even now. Mm-hmm. So like I would definitely say like Mexican. Like all of your past relationships have been Mexican guys. Okay, yeah.
Like, except, I mean, like
serious.
Okay, I've only had 3 like serious relationships.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay, yeah. But I'm saying like I feel like you're generally like attracted to Mexican guys.
Yeah.
And
like, usually I feel like it's like mixed.
What do you mean, like white and Mexican?
Well, Oscar's like Mexican, just born here.
Yeah.
And then my ex was the same. And then my like high school, my like first boyfriend ever was Korean, Mexican, American.
Oh, so that's why I say mix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like you like I feel like there's like 2 type of like Mexicans that you like though. It's like Mexican like in that lives in Mexico, like has a certain like I don't know, like how to explain it. Yeah, and just like takes care of the girl, like you know, like takes care of the women, like is very like traditional like man, you know. And then I think like another version of that is like Mexicans who like grew up in America and kind of have that, you know, vibe, but like speak Spanish and like still are like very in touch with like their culture and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely have to speak Spanish.
Yeah, so I would say that. And then
because my kids' grandparents need to speak to them in Spanish. They better speak English and Spanish.
They better, huh?
Because I've talked so much shit about, not shit, that's mean, that's far. But like I love to make comments about fucking Mexicans who think they're so Mexican in America but don't speak a drop of Spanish.
The thing is like I'm so conflicted about that, and I know like I don't know if I am allowed to have an opinion, but like I do have an opinion because the way that I think about it is like some people like okay, like for example, like my ex, like his grandparents like spoke Spanish, like when they came over like to the United States, like they spoke Spanish.
For some reason, you said that, my mind went to the Mayflower.
Girl, you missed school, like why? Okay, I'm just saying like when they moved from Mexico to the United States, like they like obviously went to like, you know, schools in the United States and they grew up around like English speakers and all this stuff. And so they grew up in a community where like there wasn't a lot of people who spoke Spanish. So they were like kind of shamed in a lot of ways or like bullied or, you know, targeted because they spoke Spanish and because they were Mexican and all these things. So the parents like stopped speaking to them in Spanish or stopped teaching them Spanish. And so like they got into this like English route, you know, but it's like had they grown up in Mexico, they would have spoke Spanish. So then when they had kids, they didn't teach their kids Spanish because they didn't know as much as they knew when they were kids. And then obviously their kids like either have to make an effort or their parents have to make an effort, for them to then learn Spanish. And then it's just like a cycle from there, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like conflicted because I feel like if you truly like love the culture, I'm like, I give you like the, you know, the
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm like, okay, you know, but also I feel like there's so many resources to where like you could learn Spanish, even if like you don't sound good, you can make an effort to like learn the language. So I will like agree there.
Yeah. I just like, my thing is like, my biggest pet peeve, like in high school and stuff like that, was when the people around me would like try to rub it in your face or something, not rub it in your face, but try to like one up you on their like culture and just like that, like try to, not that there's like a competition of who's more Mexican or not, because I'm not even 100% Mexican, but like the people who would like just try to be like so extra about it, or would literally like the only times they would say anything in Spanish was like, oh, can you pass me a liga? Do you have a liga? Oh my gosh, you came to school in your chanclas? Like, as if that's the epitome of the culture, is like those 3 words. Like that shit would drive me insane. I'm like, you're already speaking to me in English, just say it in English. Like you don't have to prove anything by saying one word in Spanish because you know it. Like that shit would drive me crazy.
I'm dead.
Like,
Yeah.
like that was the most annoying thing to me, is like, do you have a liga? Oh yeah, like, oh my gosh, I forgot my chanclas at home. Your flip-flops, your sandals. What was so difficult?
I'm dead.
I don't get
But
it.
yeah, I feel you. I feel like we've had this conversation so much, and I feel like a lot of it like stems back also to like, I feel like, you know, like there's different, I don't know. I feel, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't want to like take this down another road, but
Just get into it. Into it.
I know I can tell. I can tell you're ready to get into it, but I'm gonna just leave it right there. Okay.
Hit the link down below to our SoundCloud episode on this. It's up.
But I think so. I think that was one of the ones that made the cut.
One of the ones that made it.
Look at God. But
keep going.
and it's, okay, but I feel like you're similar in the sense of me, maybe it's a Libra thing, where like you also like want to fix people, or like be the person that people can come to, like for, not like as a safe haven, but like, because I can't think of a better word, you know, like you want to be like people's person.
I literally had a meltdown about this yesterday.
Why?
Like I literally, like after our workout, I was just sitting there and I was just, why are you so sad? And I was like, I just feel like everybody around me is hurting and I can't help. Like I was like so stressed, and like literally was just like trying to calm me down. Like you can't, like their worries and like my stresses and like everybody around you, we're all gonna stress and we're all gonna go through things, but like you can't carry the burden of trying to help everybody. Like don't worry about it. Like you're gonna be there and you're gonna help us and lift us up just by being there, just by being in our lives. Like that's enough, but there's only so much you can do, and like don't try to carry all that burden, because it's just gonna make you sick when everybody is trying to figure out stuff as well. Like and that's always going to be a thing. It's not just right now, or it's not just tomorrow. Like it's always going to be an ongoing thing. So like for the rest of your life, you can't just try to help us all. Like it's not work.
So I'm like wondering like if that is like a Libra thing or like what it is, but like, cause I feel like the same way. Like I feel like I'm like,
we're nurturers.
I what?
We are nurturers. Libras are nurturers. Like they try to like be like a mom, like help and like give and take care of.
Yeah, because I feel like I gravitate towards people who are like hurting or have like experienced something like traumatic or things like that, because like I want to be the person that like can heal you, or I want to help, or I want to be there, you know? So I don't know if that's like a negative, because like I always want, like I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it is maybe negative in some ways, but like at the end of the day, it's just like I'm attracted to like people that I feel like I can take care of.
No, that makes sense. I think like for me, it goes both ways. Like I want to make sure that I can like be that for you, but I need to make sure that you can also be that for me.
For me. Yeah, I would say like in both of my relationships, like it's been like mutual. Like I can come to you with my shit and you can come to me with your shit. But like I feel like the levels of shitness, like at times we're at different levels, you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
So,
They always are. Like I feel
yeah.
like it's never gonna be equal in that sense. And not that we want it to be equal. We don't want more shit.
Yeah.
Nobody. So
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like a level of me like is attracted to like the like drama of things.
I feel like you not that you crave, but you feed off that drama. It's like exciting. It's like what else can I get away with? Or like what else can not get away with, but it's like what's gonna happen next? Like it's like you need that like spice. And for me, I'm like, get away. I don't want the drama.
But like it's so weird because I don't feel like I'm like that in like any other aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like things can bother me and like I don't always bring them up, you know? Okay, this is what I'll say. I feel like everything, like I'm not a lot of ways in different relationships, but when I get into like a romantic relationship, I feel like everything that I'm not in every other space, I become in that space, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who is very like affectionate with like my friends, you know, like I'm not like, oh, let's cuddle. Like
The balance. That's the thing. Like there's your balance. What you don't give in a friendship and like family and half of your life, you give and you get from a romantic relationship. So it's like, and vice versa. What you don't give and get from your romantic, you do in your friendships. So like at the end of the day, it's like an equal playing field. It's an equal kind of balance because you're still getting and giving, just in different areas.
yeah. So, but like that's something I've noticed because like I'm like then super like affectionate like with in my relationships. And like not even like I wouldn't say like publicly, but I would say like privately. And it's very much like, oh, why didn't you, you know, like, why didn't you hold my hand at this moment? Why didn't you do this? Like, why didn't you do that? And like start making it about that. Like, I need you to be just as affectionate as me because this is the only place where like I'm getting that type of affection, you know, or like searching for it. Or even like the drama side of things, like I don't really bring up a lot of issues like in my friendships, like I kind of just let shit go, you know. But like in my relationships, like I feel not that I look for arguments, but like I
Well,
I
it's so different. That's like the whole thing is like it's a different relationship. Like you don't want your friends to see a certain part of you, but then at the same time, if you're trying to build a life with somebody, it's like they're gonna see every single part of you. So the little bits and pieces that you don't show like the public, you show in your private life.
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
I think that's for the most
Common.
part, that's a lot of us. Like I hold a lot of things in, I think, and then like in my relationship was the only time that like I would like vent more just because of
Yeah.
I think the same reason, because it's like if you're trying to build a life with this person, they need to be able to handle the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like I know that you guys can, but like I need to make sure that you can also.
Yeah, I also just feel like it's more of like an intimate relationship. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you lay everything out on the table. Like I don't always have to be like, you know, like, oh, happy McBee, like whatever. Like if I'm annoyed, like I'm gonna act like I'm annoyed and like not worry like, oh, I'm being a bitch to my friends. You know, it's just kind of like, which is not always positive, like which is not good either, because like you just act the way you want to act, like when you get comfortable with somebody. But like I don't know, or maybe that.
I get what you mean. It's like what we just said, like the parts that you don't show in a friendship come out in private because like it's like public versus private. You obviously want that to stay in your private, like personal life, and usually that entails like in a relationship.
No, yeah, I would agree. How would you explain your type?
I would agree with that. I think like I say I don't have one just because I think every relationship has been very different and like very different like stages of my life. So they're completely different relationships. And I think that's why I say like I don't really have one other than maybe physically or something. Um, just because like the connection with everybody's gonna be different and I don't search for the same things that I used to, I guess. And I'd have like a very different mindset. And I've taken kind of like the experiences from my last ones and definitely in like my current relationship, it's a completely different vibe and like connection and just a relationship in general. Like we're very different and in like in a good way, in a positive way, just because my mentality has kind of switched and I've matured, I think, more than I was in like my past ones. So I'm more expressive and more communicative. And just because, like you said, like I'm not dating you to see, okay, in a month we're going to be over. It's like, if I'm dating you right now, it's better, not that it better be, but like I'm not seeing like the end date. So I'm like, I know that there's like some things that still like I need to work on, but like I am working on them and I have worked on them and things are like looking up. So I just think like that's why I mean like I don't have one just because there's like no comparison in the kinds of relationships that were and that is.
Yeah. No, like I get that. I feel like for me, I am like working on those things now where like you like are like what seems like you kind of still are in some ways, but yeah, like while you're in a relationship rather than like taking time, you know what I mean, like in between, I guess. But I feel like it, like if it works different for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it does. Everybody's are gonna be different, and you can't really compare your relationship to mine or vice versa, just because every relationship is different. So, but
I agree with that. I would have to agree with that.
I think for the most part, you hit it on the nail.
What for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say yes. Well, anything else for today?
I think that's good. That's what we wanted to talk about. We got it.
Agree. Hit the nail on the head. Court adjourned.
Are you going to join our live right now? It started 5 minutes ago.
Oh, shit. Probably not. Because I don't have on a bra.
Fine.
Okay, Friday. I'm going to put it on my calendar. Oh, wait. Are you going to do it on Friday?
I think he's still going to want to do it.
All right. Well, see you guys on the next episode of Open and Honest.
Bye.